The meaning and purpose of logic. What is logic for Aristotle? On interpretation begins with a discussion of meaning, according to which written words are symbols of spoken words, while spoken words are symbols of thoughts. Int. 1638. This theory of signification can be understood as a semantics that explains how different alphabets can signify the same spoken language, while different languages can signify the same thoughts. Moreover, this theory connects the meaning of symbols to logical consequence, since commitment to some set of utterances rationally requires commitment to the thought signified by those utterances and to what is entailed by them. Hence, though Cook-Wilson, 1926-3033, correctly notes that Aristotle nowhere defines logic, it may be called the science of thinking, where the role of the science is not to describe ordinary human reasoning, but rather to demonstrate what one ought to think given one's other commitments. Though the elements of Aristotelian logic are implicit in our conscious reasoning, Aristotelian analysis makes explicit what was formerly implicit. Cook-Wilson, 1926-49. Aristotle shows how logic can demonstrate what one should think, given one's commitments, by developing the syntactical concepts of truth, predication, and definition. In order for a written sentence, utterance, or thought to be true or false, Aristotle says, it must include at least two terms, a subject and a predicate. Thus, a simple thought or utterance such as horse is neither true nor false, but must be combined with another term, say, fast, in order to form a compound, the horse is fast, that describes reality truly or falsely. The written sentence, the horse is fast, has meaning insofar as it signifies the spoken sentence, which in turn has meaning in virtue of it signifying the thought that the horse is fast. In .161018, Cat.13b1012, DA 430-26b1. Aristotle holds that there are two kinds of constituents of meaningful sentences, nouns and their derivatives, which are conventional symbols without tense or aspect, and verbs, which have a tense and aspect. Though all meaningful speech consists of combinations of these constituents, Aristotle limits logic to the consideration of statements, which assert or deny the presence of something in the past, present, or future, in .172024. Aristotle analyzes statements as cases of predication, in which a predicate P is attributed to a subject S, as in a sentence of the form S is P. Since he holds that every statement expresses something about being, statements of this form are to be read as S is exists, as a P. Beck 2011. In every true predication, either the subject and predicate are of the same category, or the subject term refers to a substance, while the predicate term refers to one of the other categories. The primary substances are individuals, while secondary substances are species and genera composed of individuals. Cat.2 A1118. This distinction between primary and secondary reflects a dependence relation. If all the individuals of a species or genus were annihilated, the species and genus could not, in the present tense, be truly predicated of any subject. Every individual is of a species, and that species is predicated of the individual. Every species is the member of a genus, which is predicated of the species and of each individual of that species. Cat.2 B1322. For example, if Callias is of the species man, and the species is a member of the genus animal, then man is predicated of Callias, and animal is predicated both of man and of Callias. The individual, Callias, inherits the predicate animal in virtue of being of the species man. But inheritance stops at the individual and does not apply to its proper parts. For example, man is not truly predicated of Callias's hand. A genus can be divided with reference to the specific differences among its members. For example, biped differentiates man from horse. While no definition can be given of an individual or primary substance such as Callias, when one gives the genus and all the specific differences possessed by a kind of thing, one can define a thing's species. A specific difference is a predicate that falls under one of the categories. Thus, Aristotelian categories can be seen as a taxonomical scheme, a way of organizing predicates for discovery, or as a metaphysical doctrine about the kinds of beings there are. But any reading must accommodate Aristotle's views that primary substances are never predicated of a subject, Cat.3a6, that a predicate may fall under multiple categories, Cat.11a2039, and that some terms, such as good, are predicated in all the categories, NE 1096 at 2329. Moreover, definitions are reached not by demonstration, but by other kinds of inquiry, such as dialectic, the art by which one makes divisions in a genus, and induction, which can reveal specific differences from the observation of individual examples.